I want you to watch this, and then on the other side of that, I will interview Anton Daniels.
Male do to America to bring it down.
I'm not getting into that.
You dancing around it.
No,
and that's why I lose respect for you when you start dancing and kissing Caucasian males' ass.
But I don't.
Don't do that in front of me because I'm not an ass kisser of nobody.
Yes, you are. You suck the black people right now. You doing the easy shit. What you do, let me tell you what you do.
Yo, I ain't never gonna get off Corey's face when he told him that he S the D, classic.
I'm not an ass kisser of nobody.
Yes, you are. You suck the black people right now. You doing the easy shit. What you do, let me tell you what you do.
Nah,
see,
homie, let me tell you something, homie.
Ain't nobody gonna tell you.
I don't suck.
Yeah,
I don't
you do.
suck. So fix
You doing
that.
it right now.
I don't suck.
You doing it right now.
Homie, believe me when I tell you. I don't
Believe me
do
when
that.
I tell you.
I don't do that.
Listen.
So don't come at me with no sucky shit.
I'm gonna give you the same energy you give me.
Let's switch seats. Let's switch seats.
I'm on the phone right now. Right now, I'm going out back. I don't give a fuck about this shit.
Homie, you just running your mouth.
I'm not running my mouth.
You running your mouth. I don't do
you
no
doing this shit for the
sucky
internet. You doing it for the internet. Now, if you want to say your time, no, hold on. If you want
I'll
to say
show
Anton,
you I ain't doing it for the internet.
if you want to say Anton, listen, don't disrespect me like that. If you want to say Anton, don't disrespect me like that. I'll respect you. But don't boss up on me because you said a lot of shit to me today that I don't fuck with either. But I let that shit ride because you don't know me.
Right. Actually, Corey the one that started with the sexual stuff when he hit him with the ass kissing.
You don't know me. So I'm going to extend the same respect to you. You called me out of my name. You said some wild shit, especially with regard to how would it call this name? I'm telling you that you did. You can't tell me how I get respect because you're not going to do shit.
Come at me with that sucking shit again.
You're not going to
come at me with. See, I suck again, nigga.
Corey got 2 broken wrists. He got 2 terrible injuries in his wrists. He's 57 years old. And I'm not saying Anton is a great fighter, but this whole thing is ridiculous. Ridiculous. To jump off. Anton should have said it, if you ask me. I'd have stood up when I said it, though. You're not going to sneak me.
We can go all back right now. We can go all back right now. I'm with it.
He should have said it right there when he was standing up. Now, that's the D.
I bet you won't say that shit.
We can go all back right now.
I got money for all this.
No, he shouldn't have. No, he shouldn't have. No, he shouldn't have. Don't listen to that. We do not support violence on this channel. I just know myself. I wouldn't have been in that situation. I would have never said the S to D. When he would have said the butt kiss and stuff, I would have checked out right there. That'd have been time for me to walk off the set.
Whatever.
I got money too. Don't nobody give a f about that shit.
No, it's just not respect.
I ain't falling for that. I ain't falling. Dolly, get out the way. Get in the way of two.
But anyway, how would you describe him getting up out of his chair, switching chairs, trying to physically intimidate you and threaten you? And then he folded up just real quick. And I got to be honest with you, it kind of shocked me to see him fold that quick.
It didn't shock me because what people may not have been able to see is that he was shaking. Like he was shaking like a stripper. Like trying to hold the mic shaking. And you can probably see it if you actually kind of look at it and zoom.
That could also have been adrenaline.
And he was scared. And it was a defense mechanism. And so, you know, when we were having a conversation, he was outwitted because I started talking a lot more intellectual about local voting and how that affects communities. And I know that he don't vote. I started talking about culture and the transatlantic slave trade, and he tried to box me in by saying, but you black. And I said,
and let me also say this, whenever you're having a debate and someone is ready to get physical, you lost. You lost. It should have been over. Honestly, if Corey felt so disrespected, he should have A, jumped off right away instead of asking him to say it over and over again, or B, ended the interview. That's what I would have did. If he'd have said that to me, the S and the D, I'd have been like, look, I don't know who you talking to, but this is over. I'm done speaking to you. But see, I would have never allowed it to go that way because I wouldn't have told him he was kissing ass either. That's also quite disrespectful. And you can't tell somebody how to respond. Like, perhaps Anton's line was at the kissing ass. Corey, you saying your line is at the S to D. You know what I'm saying? Who are you to determine where someone else's line is? It's not like as if you were completely respectful and then he just said, "Oh, you doing this." The whole thing was senseless.
I'm a Christian first. I actually believe in Jesus. And so all of this type of, conversation was going way over his head. And so what he would do is he would try to change the subject real fast and then go to another point, go to another point. And we couldn't stay on anything because he kept moving the goalposts as a defense mechanism as to not get embarrassed on his platform. And then, as expected, he threw an insult and said that I like to kiss, pardon my French, white people's ass, white men's ass. To which I then responded with the same energy, well, you like to suck black people's D, right? Now, some people would say, well, Anton, you took it too far, right? And
Maybe.
you can make an argument for that, sure.
Maybe.
But I also understood who I was talking to and how far he takes it on a regular basis. And I see him disrespecting people, and he
just wasn't trying to get punked. That's what it was. He was like, you're not going to start. He heard him start to get out on him. He was like, oh, no, I'll get out on you, too. If that's how you like to get down.
just disrespected me. And you can't, and the lesson there is you can't control how people respond.
I just said that. Exactly. You can't slap a motherfucker and when he shoots you, be mad. Why you slap him?
When they disrespect you. You see what I'm saying? So I could have been a bigger person, but I decided not to on that platform because I seen weakness in him. And I also wanted to expose him because he thinks he's a bully and he picks and chooses his targets, which I told him that also. So with him getting up and moving the chairs and all of that stuff, nobody was fearful of it. And it wasn't about being tough or anything like that. But it was like, okay, well, let's just see how far it goes. Let's see how far the rabbit hole goes. And it really amounted to just one of those type of dogs that like to bark on the porch. But then when they actually step out there, when you remove the fence from it, and again, he was shaking and all of that stuff. When you remove the fence from it, it amounted to practically nothing. Even so much so to the point to where I said, listen, we don't even have to keep talking about it. We can go out back if you tough and we can figure it out back there. Because one thing that
and that's and I do commend him for that because although, like I said, I don't support violence in any way. It's never cool. Black men need to learn how to settle differences in other ways other than violence. A fight would not have made Corey less of whatever he felt like by being accused of S and the D. But what I will say is it would have been smart to, if we must do this, let's not do it on camera. Let's not jeopardize everything we got going. We go out back. I say whatever you need me to say. You got something you want to get off your chest, get it off your chest. He did not accept that invitation. To me, that was an L for Corey. That's just me.
I'm not going to do, because I know that YouTube don't like fighting. They will demonetize you. They will penalize you. It can go really, really bad. So I'm not going to mess up his platform, and I'm not going to mess up my platform either. And so I'm like, well, listen, we could just go out back. We don't even have to cut the we don't have to cut the stream or anything like that. We can figure it out if you think you're tough. To which I already knew he wasn't going to do it. And he did exactly what I thought he was going to do. He sat back down. He shook my hand. And then we continued the conversation. And at that point, I seen a weakness in him. And so I just proceeded to exploit him. I told him that he was scary, that he picks and chooses his targets, that he's hypocritical, that he was scared of Dave Chappelle. That's why he tiptoed around giving his opinion on a special. I told him that the people around him are yes men and they just tell him what he want to hear.
Ouch.
And he doesn't have any real friends.
Craig Fax didn't like that. He was rushing over there just for that statement.
And that's why he continues to alienate people. And so I was very candid and matter of fact, and I didn't pull any punches, and I told him exactly what he was. And once I seen that it was escalating more and then he started calling me out of my name again, I think that the intelligent thing to do at that point, because I had already made my point, was just to go ahead and walk away.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, I thought him folding up when you offered him the chance, hey, let's turn these cameras off and find out who we really are. Because people with cameras, they perform.
And I told him that too.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, you're doing this for the internet.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the cameras make everybody, and you know, I picked a side here, but I'm just being objective. Hey, let's turn these cameras off, and then we can get to the real truth. and he had no interest in that.
If we must.
And
Because anybody is tough. You know, everybody can bark loud. And it's not even about winning or losing. And I don't consider myself a tough guy. You know, corporate America, software engineer. I'm a father, married 21 years. I don't have any children out of wedlock. I am, I go to church. So, you know, I understand that people may not necessarily like the way that I say things because the truth is uncomfortable. And I'm open to the possibility that I'm wrong. But at the same time, I also understood who I was talking to and how disrespectful he is.
Right.
And so I wanted to see just how disrespectful he can get and if he was able to back it up.
Here was the other thing I found interesting, why I find this important. This was important. And I know it was ghetto, and I know it was profane.
It was.
And all of that. But
the whole thing was just a bad look. I'm going to be honest with you. The whole thing, like, I mean, it's content. You know, us creators, we like content. We like something to talk about. But it overall, bad look for the culture. Bad look for black men. Bad look for YouTubers. Bad look for America, nigga.
someone had to go into that arena and take on that mentality.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's important because that mentality, the mentality that he promotes,
I'm sorry, Jason.
the mentality, we temporarily, I think his camera changed angles or whatever, but someone had to take on that prison mentality. This is a 57-year-old man, Corey Holcomb, that has a clear-cut prison mentality and prison mindset, and that's pervasive all throughout black culture, and it's popular over YouTube. And someone had to go into that arena and say, man, this is all a gimmick. This is someone intellectually limited who's not nearly as tough as he thinks he is. And so there's part of me that I'm on my Christian journey where I can't be profane. I don't like to use the N-word. And so I'm rooting you on and sitting there like, man, I wish I could. I just can't do it. And there's a part of me that it used to be. Back in the day, I could have gone in there and, you know, went word for word and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But I do think what transpired and what you exposed, and I saw your post-show stream, I think, yesterday, where you were trying to encourage people and tell people, like, look, man, these people ain't what you think. They're not as tough as you think. They're intellectually limited, and they're taking you straight to hell.
Yep. I don't think that any of these people, you know, what we do in our community, and we don't have any real heroes for the culture, right? And I'm not saying that because my hero is Jesus, right? So I look at it from a completely different.
All right, I'm not going to do the whole thing. This was just an excerpt. If you want to check this out, this will be over on Jason Whitlock's channel. The title of the video is Anton Daniels. Corey Holcomb was shaking like a stripper. Anyway, we out.